Hello again. One of the things which so many people in this country find alarming is the sheer scale of their replacement in parts of Britain and the rapidity with which this is being accomplished. Perhaps looking at a single area, which was in 1961 wholly white, will illustrate this point. In 1961, that part of London which would in 1965 become the borough of Barking and Dagenham was, according to that year's census, 98.8% white. That is to say, there were a tiny number of Pakistanis and black people in the area, often a transient population working at the nearby docks rather than people actually living there. I know this, for I had relatives in the area at that time. I know Barking very well and Dagenham. One literally did not see anybody who was not white and British at that time. No foreigners, no black people, no Asians. 10 years later, in 1971, the newly formed metropolitan borough was still over 98% white. I give a link to the Wikipedia page of Barking and Dagenham, which gives these figures. Today, the percentage of white British people in that borough has fallen below 45%. White British people are a minority in that part of their own capital city, and indeed in the capital city as a whole. Now, whether you approve of this transformation of London or if you view it as a disaster does not matter for the moment. What we can all agree upon is that it has happened. It's not a figment of fevered far-right imaginations. The data from successive censuses are freely available for us all to consult. In the capital, white British people have been replaced and are now a minority. London is, of course, a pioneer in this process. The unopposed success of what is happening there is now being replicated in Britain's other large cities, and also towns and even villages throughout the kingdom. We see it in Birmingham and Manchester, and now we are seeing it too in smaller places like Doncaster and Peterborough. That it is happening is indisputable. Why it is happening is, of course, debatable. The two main theories to account for this breathtakingly rapid demographic change are, on the one hand, that it has been deliberately planned, part of a long-term project to replace the white population with those of other ethnicities, and then, on the other hand, that it is simply stupidity and short-sightedness on the part of politicians at play here. The idea that what we are seeing here is the working out of a meticulously designed long-term scheme is known by various names, such as the Great Replacement or the Kalergi Plan. The difficulty is that it's very difficult to keep anything secret in the modern world, at least not for very long. And other than vague plans discussed at the United Nations or books by people like Richard Coudenhove-Kalergi about his vision of pan-Europeanism, there is no evidence to show how this project might have been set in motion and kept secret. Then, too, we do know that governments routinely do stupid things which backfire and have the most undesirable consequences for us all. Ultimately, it does not matter if what we are witnessing is the fruition of a carefully devised plan or merely a series of catastrophic and ill thought out decisions by successive politicians. The end result would be much the same in either case. I think that what most British people are concerned with is less speculating on the cause of what has led to their cities becoming increasingly filled with immigrants, and more wondering how this whole thing can be halted and, if humanly possible, reversed. Putting a stop to the process would be easy enough if only the political will to do so existed. Reversing the whole thing might prove a tougher nut to crack. In this video, I simply want to explain what is happening, which is British people becoming a minority in parts of their own homeland, and to say that it really does not matter what has caused this. We should focus all our efforts on stopping it going any further and then giving serious thought about undoing some of the damage which has been done.